In this video, I will show you how to detect any toxic social environment that you are in so that you know for sure the type of environment that you are in and you can make better decisions for your life. I'm Ziyuan. I'm passionate about leading a meaningful life and in sharing my process with young working adults and aspiring entrepreneurs who are just like me to do the same. I was once in an environment where I was berated for the slightest of things, just getting scolded and hammered every single day, for every single thing right or wrong that I did. If you are in a similar situation like me and you are not sure why is it this way or what you should do about it, then you should continue watching. This video is just for you. Let's get to it. There's three main ways that you know if you're in a toxic environment, but let's get to the first one. You know that you're in a toxic environment if negative emotions is a norm. Of course, we all know that negative emotions can be triggered by a lot of things, a slight remark by a colleague, or just a look from your colleague or your boss. All these can trigger negative emotions, but there is a problem when it becomes recurring. Every single day when you walk into the office, when you walk into the workplace or any environment that you are evaluating, you just feel these negative emotions. That becomes a problem. It will be worthwhile to increase your level of emotional awareness throughout the week, just like the table that we are showing right now. So just take a moment to score the emotions that you feel in a typical week and keep in mind the results because we'll come back to it later on. The second thing that you need to look out for and that is an indicator for a toxic environment is if negative gossip is prevalent. Gossip is present in any kind of social environment. A lot of time it is just a neutral gossip, just talking neutrally about someone else. Or sometimes even we talk positively about others. That's positive gossip. But the problem really comes when there's a lot of negative gossip. So to make it concrete, how much a gossip that you are experiencing in your environment that you are evaluating, you can score your typical week like this table that we are showing right now as well. So keep this score in mind as we'll use it again when we sum everything up. The third indicator that an environment is toxic is that the workload is immense. You know your workload is immense when the amount of work that you are putting in is far more than what you are willing to give, right? Instead of feeling that you are eager to do the work, eager to do your best, you just feel that the fatigue is kicking in and you're not sure if you can continue on any further. In a work environment, this can mean the amount of overtime. In the other environments, it can mean other things. But you just feel a sense of you're just getting overworked. Whatever the environment is, a good rule of thumb is to look at the environment that you're evaluating and seeing if this particular thing that you're working on is taking up so much of your time, so much of your effort, so much of your energy that you're neglecting other important areas of your life, perhaps your marriage, your family, your friends, your relationships, and you can evaluate yourself based on this table as well. And also, just keep in mind this score. If you're walking through this whole video together, just keep in mind this score as we're about to sum everything up. So now you take the score from these three components, the amount of negative feelings or emotions that you feel in a typical week. You take the score from your amount of gossip, you take the score from excessive workload, you add them up and you take the average. And this average will let you know, have an indicator at least. It's not scientific, nothing scientific, but it's indicative of how toxic your environment is. From 0 to 0.49, this is generally a safe environment. This is an environment where you might even be able to thrive in. From 0.5 to 0.65, it's not the perfect environment. There's sometimes you don't feel so good about it, but it's still livable. From 0.66 to 1.0, this is likely a toxic environment. Whatever your score is for the environment that you're evaluating, no environment is going to be perfect all the time. There are going to be imperfections. So rather than trying to perfect everything, what we can do is to learn strategies that we can use to cope with these imperfections that any environment will bring to us. Here are three ways to deal with an imperfect environment or even a toxic environment. The first way is to become gossip resistant, particularly useful if the environment that you are in is very prone to negative gossip. But in any case, in every environment that I've been to, negative gossip has been a commonplace. So I think this will be useful for everyone. Here are 5 quick ways to become gossip resistant. The first way is when someone brings gossip to you just to say nothing, right? So when you say nothing, you just show that you don't support this person, is likely not going to come back to you and throw gossip at you anymore as well. The second way is to commend the commendable. Draw out the positive traits. When you hear someone talking, when you hear person B talking negatively about person A, you just talk about the commendable things about person A. Draw out the positive traits from this person. The third way to become gossip resistant is to talk to the person and not about them. If we have a problem with someone, it would be more productive for us to go directly to the person and to resolve the issue. Number 4, just avoid the people who are gossips. If you are always saying nothing but these people are still coming to you every time with a negative gossip about this particular person, then just try your best, do your best to avoid them. Or the 5th way that you can become gossip resistant is to directly defend the person. When you become a target of gossip, it's going to be hurtful, but here are 2 ways that you can deal with it. The first way is to overlook it, take the high road and just pretend as if it didn't happen at all. This can be used if the accusation is not particularly damaging to your reputation and if it's just like one time off. Or second way is to confront it. Go directly to the person that has gossiped about you and confront it and resolve that issue and make things right. This is more useful if the gossip is going on repeatedly, accusations are continually being made, and if the accusation is serious. The second way to deal with a toxic environment, or not an imperfect environment, is to set good boundaries. To put simply, the steps to setting up a good boundaries is like, just knowing what is it that is within your boundary. Physical boundary, financial boundaries, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, the things that are within your boundaries and supposed to be within your control. The second thing that you need to do when you set good boundaries is to know what feels like a yes and what feels like a no. And the third step is to just say no to the things that feel like a no. Right? If it's not a clear yes, then it's likely a no. When all is said and done, the setting of good boundaries is all about saying yes to the things that are good for us, saying no to the things that are bad for us, and respecting other people's boundaries. The third way to deal with any toxic environment, or any imperfect environment for that matter, is to change and grow yourself. Continually change and continually grow ourselves. In the context of a toxic environment that you decide right now is not in the best interest for you to live, changing and growing yourself is going to help you in 2 main ways. Even though it's a toxic environment, you can add more value to your current organization or to your current environment. You can even learn how to deal with the demands of the environment, be it negative emotion, gossip, or excessive workload. Growing yourself can also help you to prepare for a new and better environment. Here are 3 action steps that have helped me to change and grow, regardless of the environment that I have been put into. The first is to identify the areas that you want to grow in. So maybe if it's a gossip-prone environment and you want to learn how to become more gossip resistant, then okay, maybe you identify becoming gossip resistant as a skill that you want to learn. Or perhaps your work has the particular coding skill that you need to learn. That area you want to grow yourself into. So identify the area that you want to grow into. And the second step is to select quality resources to learn from. So this can be from Udemy, this can be from books that you find on Amazon, or even courses, physical courses that you want to attend, virtual courses that you want to attend. But the important thing is to source for the quality content. There's so much content out there, right? So we need to sift through the crowds and really pick the quality content. Good indicator is the ratings for a book or for a course, right? Just look at the ratings and find the quality content for the area that you want to grow in. So the third way is to apply the knowledge that you have gained from the books and from the courses and to go deep. That was it. How to identify a toxic environment and how to deal with it. Share in the comments below what are some effective ways you have found to identify a toxic environment and what are some effective strategies that you have used to curb a toxic environment. Subscribe and click the bell button for more of such videos, and go to purposeodyssey.com for more of such resources.